Hello, Ravens fans, and welcome to another season preview. I'm Aaron Schneider, Sports Information Director at Anderson University, and joining us for our baseball previews, head coach Matt Bair. How are you doing today?
Great. Good morning, Aaron.
All right. Well, first to kick things off, we haven't been able to really we haven't had a chance to talk about our end of the season tournament run that we had. Where we were able to make it to the final game of the HCAC tournament. What would you say that was different in years past that contributed to our success during the tournament?
I don't know if there's any one thing in particular I would point to say that this is why we were able to make the run we did in the tournament. If you think back towards the end of that season, with about 3 weeks left in the conference tournament, just as much as anything, our backs were against the wall, to make it into the conference tournament. And I think the guys embraced that challenge. And, they played not just with a sense of urgency, but some real intentionality, knowing they had to win so many games to be able to get into the tournament. And so, I think we went into the tournament with good momentum, because we finished the season extremely well with some very tough wins on the road, as well as a few tough wins at home, which got us into tournament play. And then, we lost a tough game right out of the gate there in the conference tournament. But I don't know, those guys just seemed to play extremely well with their backs against the wall all season, especially there at the end. And, we had some key and some timely things happen within the games there in those last few.
And to kind of double down on what you're saying with we were facing adversity not only in the sense of we lost the game right out of the gate. Now we're spending the tournament in the losers bracket. A lot of those games we had to come from behind from as well.
Yeah, we did, and not only come from behind and create some luck on our end, but we had to get lucky in a few instances. But I felt like, again, we helped create some of that with our skill and our play out on the field, and I was just really proud of the guys to go on that 4-game run. And obviously falling a game short is never the plan, but was really proud of their effort and just really proud of the way they spent the last 3 weeks rallying together to make the most of what was a challenging season, up to that point.
And the other thing I noticed during the tournament is, a lot of times, especially in baseball, there's a one or two like signature things that are where that becomes like really detrimental. That's kind of like the tipping point in the wrong way, while we didn't win the conference tournament, we didn't really have any of those plays. We were pretty disciplined through the entire tournament. In my opinion.
Yeah, I felt so too. I mean, we obviously had some clutch performances, on the mound, especially, and at the plate in some games where we really needed it. We had some guys step up in big ways, and it was a fun run. Again, we obviously fell a game short, and congrats to Franklin. They were a tremendous ball club and always are. But I thought we did a nice job there at the end of the year, and I was, again, really proud of the guys.
So now going into this year, you said year in and year out, you're out here to win championships, and I don't imagine the goals and expectations are any different.
No, I mean, it's always the point, to why we take the field. I always say the bigger purpose in what we're doing here is, trying to transform lives with these guys, but the point of us taking the field is to win. And absolutely, this year is no different. I mean, it's going to be an extremely competitive conference this year. The tournament just seems to get better every single year and gets tougher, to win. But I like the fact that our guys, we've been in the tournament every year since I've been here. But, when you can get to that championship game like we've done twice, it really gives the guys a taste for what that feels like. And I think it creates some energy in their bellies to take care of business throughout the winter and throughout the fall to get themselves back in a position to have an opportunity to win that game.
All right, and then what's definitely noticeable this year is how veteran the squad's going to be, both with our hitting and with our pitching. We've got a ton of talent coming back.
We do. We'll have great experience out on the field, both in some young players as well as in our older players. But I don't know that we're too much different than every other team in the program or in the conference. As I look up and down the rosters, you have a lot of players taking advantage of their COVID years, their additional years of eligibility to play, and I think just about every team we run into in the conference is going to have some experience on the field, and so I like that about our team. But I think what I like as much or even more is just this is as balanced as we've ever been in talent, freshman through senior.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of competitions that have to play out throughout the course of the year, which makes it challenging for us as coaches, but at the same time it's encouraging. And so when we're having to create those rotations or when we're having to make some movements in the lineup, I just don't think there's any possible way we could say how we start the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season is going to be the way we end it, even though we do have a lot of experience on the field. But we've got a lot of competitive balance, and that's exciting.
Okay, so now if you can, who are some of the hitters that you think are going to make an impact for this year? Well, everyone's going to be making their impact in their own way, of course, but they're definitely, who are some of the key people that are going to be for you on offense?
Yeah, well, I mean, essentially we return almost our entire batting lineup, right? Our entire order. So, it's exciting to have that come back for us, and obviously some key guys that have anchored that throughout the year. Justin Reed and Tyler Smitherman have hit in the middle of this lineup for going on 4 years now, and with Connor Gordon and Charlie Jones, who have both been really exceptional at the top of the order. And then you return some young guys like Trey Dorton and Griffin Wolf, both had tremendous freshman years last year. They put up some veteran numbers, right, as freshmen. So we're excited to have them back. And then we've got a lot of competition playing out at the catcher position this year, and we're excited for that. But I just think we'll be very competitive up and down the lineup with maybe a few new faces here and there. But with having Tyler and Justin and some of those other guys I mentioned back anchoring the batting order, that's healthy for us. That's awesome.
All right, and then going into the pitching, like you mentioned, where the hitting is, the hitting looks almost pretty similar. The pitching will be that way as well.
Yes, it will. We have a lot of innings coming back. As a matter of fact, essentially outside of Evan Doan, we're bringing back just about every significant contributor, to our innings last year. And so excited, to see what, Landon Southern and Justin Schosberger and Logan Nickel and Carter Canobile, just to name a few, what they can do with their experience out there on the mound, which is exciting. And then we've just got a really great crop of young guys, and it's inevitable. I'll leave guys out in mentioning this, but whether it's Noah Wathman or Joe Wilson or Gavin Owsley, I mean, these are guys who are coming in as freshmen who are already making statements, that they're here and they're ready to compete, and they believe that they can be a great asset, at this level. So again, I'm leaving some guys out of there, but and I don't mean to, but we're really excited about the depth of our pitching staff. We think it's extremely competitive. Walker Stahl's one that's coming back, for his 5th year, and goodness gracious, I mean, if it weren't for 2 of his impact games at the end of the year,
right,
one at Mount St. Joe and the other one against Transy in the tournament, we don't make it. And so, having him back and his veteran leadership has been awesome too.
All right, and then going in, we opened the series this weekend with a road series against Sewanee. Tell us about what your expectations for the openers.
Well, I think we'll all be working out some kinks, right? I know they, like us, have been fortunate enough to have some turf out on the field so that they can get out and participate and play. I think they had a 3-game series this past weekend where they picked up a win, and then the other 2 games were suspended or postponed. So I think both of us are going to be eager to get out there and compete and hopefully get a full weekend of games in. Anytime you travel like that, you're not only balancing the challenges of the game, you're balancing the challenges of the travel. But I know these guys are ready to get out there and start competing, to see some live at-bats and live opportunities out there against another team. And I fully expect Sewanee to be, prepared and ready. They're a great program, and I fully expect that from our guys as well.
All right. And then finally, what does your team need to do this what does your team need to do this year to be successful?
To be honest, outside of what we all need to do as baseball teams to be successful, we need to be healthy. Our availability is going to be our best ability throughout the season. We do have a lot of talent, we do have a lot of depth, but we need our guys to be healthy and in a position to take the field. And that's always a challenge within itself. So my prayers are just that we can help them recover and do everything from week to week to get them ready for each individual game, and then let's go out there and pitch it, catch it, throw it, hit it to the best of our ability, and let the chips fall where they may from there.
All right, well, I think I've covered the questions I wanted to. Ravens fans, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to follow along with any more previews and any more content we may put out on YouTube. Of course, follow along with your Ravens baseball team. They open the season this Saturday. Coach Bair, thank you for joining us, and good luck this year.
Thank you very much, Aaron.